Hi. So this image is located at a place that I call the window of magical messages and rainbow reminders and JCT Pop, Jesus Christ or Prince of Peace, and sunset stained glass. Location at 420 West 19th Street, Costa Mesa, California, 92627, biblically speaking, in the land of dreams. Biblical educational, all the religions are 100% true. Real laws are reminded there, like purity over perversion, justice over justify, reality versus fantasy, fact versus fiction, and whatever else not mentioned, like spiritually and diff books of knowledge, and fae, fashion art, etc. I cartoonized this image of JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace. I gave him a clowny makeover with blood, tears, and a rainbow of colorful paint-like cries, like fashion art, etc., fae, and I include that coat of many colors style that biblically inspired. Originally, that was a portrait of JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, as it still is, but previously, it was a black and white printout that I painted over. And a biblically educated biblical doctor genius can easily bring him back, that JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, as he's entitled to all his resources like anyone. Biblical educational advanced medical representatives help humans and animals and more, like medical advanced field. They do things like metal skeletons that light up, fly, disintegration lasers, diff remains, clones, natural remedies, real medicine, necessary surgeries and procedures, and whatever else not mentioned is the field I'm trying to get into, like a higher educational of knowledge I need, like I qualify, and I will get all my resources like I'm entitled, like everyone is made into fae, fashion art, etc. And JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, he says things like, I am many things, a shepherd, a qualified lord, a biblical doctor genius, that biblically educated, educational, and more. I know my sheep, those lambs know me, poetically speaking and still talking on reality. The victims know what they are entitled to, individually like princesses and princes. Farewell, peasants. There's more to my story in existence. Is there to yours? That's a freestyle prayer, a remix, a mix of that Holy Bible verse, John 10:14, by me, Rachel Michelle McLean, Christina Ballerina Covand, Loca Princessa, Fantasia, Princess of Many Names, fashion art, etc., fae, and baby girl Garnet is myself, born January 15th, 1986 at 694 West Wilson Street, Costa Mesa, California, 92627, also known as Harper in Persia, California, and other temporary and permanent titles, either ways, biblically speaking, in the land of dreams. Even though my soul was made April of 1985, diamond crystal, birth diamond would have been if I was born at that time. But again, I was born January 15th, 1986, a garnet diamond. And Psalm 49, 1 through 9, in biblical educational, diff books of knowledge, holy Bibles that are original scripture, not the fake ones. Although this is based on a rewritten original scripture. King God came to me in the sky and told me to fill in what someone illegally had changed out of a version of those fake Bibles. So if you look up Psalm 49, 1 through 9, some of this is there, but not entirely, because peasants rewrite Bibles and more, and they put them on the shelves illegally, thinking no one will know. And JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, he also shows more visibly and tells me things like that last verse that I had talked on, John 10:14. Obviously, what I written is what JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, had told me. And there's different versions of it. He told me that that's obviously a conversation that he had with John, some man or boy or whatever. But the version that I have is not their entire conversation. And then he claims now he's having a conversation with me regarding that exact verse for me to write it down, what he's telling me. So that's what I did. Anyways, and that's how the original Bible's even written. It's only based on conversations or actual stories and events. For example, John 10:14 is based on a conversation with JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace. And according to King God, which I came to realize once I wrote it down entirely, he claims King God said Psalm 49, 1 through 9 is not just something he had said, but it's something he's saying on behalf of the gods and goddesses, kings and queens. It's what they say, and that's how he got my attention, that he just got chosen to be in the spotlight and talk about it to me. And this is just one version of it. There's many. Any real Bible will be so big, nobody owns one, most likely. There's scripture in museums and more. That's how people like me know those aren't real books to be read. But they are part true, so it is good that there's truth in it, but it's twisted with lies. Anyways, so I'm going to read from Psalm 49, 1 through 9. 49. For all director, choir, a psalm of descendants, Korah, and a life application Bible based on Holy Bible. This is mentioned. I obviously remix a mix of from that book. And passage message from King God. 49:1. Listen to this, all you people. Pay attention, everyone in the world, biblically speaking, in the land of dreams. 49:2. High and low, rich and poor, listen. 49:3. For my thoughts are pure with purity, and filled with ideas and knowledge, and my words are wise and more. 49:4. Listen to words of proverbs and solve riddles with inspiration from a harp. 49:5. Why should I fear when enemies arrive uninvited? Don't live in false fear. It's illegal. It's sinful to do so. It's a sin. 49:6. And this is still Psalm. Sinners, peasants, criminals, victimizers. They're worthless. They trust in theirs and others' wealth. And they go on boasting of great riches when they might not got a point in existing. Like, what's their 24/7 existence? Intentionally. That determines if they're allowed to exist at all. Like, there's lie detector test and real authorities required. 49:7. Yet they won't redeem themselves from death by paying a ransom to King God. Can't buy your ways out of existing sentence. Can't cover a crime with a crime. 49.8. Redemption does not come so easy, for no one can pay enough or anything at all. 49.9. To live forever and never see the grave, because funerals are illegal, according to all religions that are 100% true, and real laws are reminded there, like spiritually and fae, fashion art, etc. Nailed it, huh? Duh. If there's remains, they belong brought back or disintegrated, like whatever they qualify for individually. Holy Bible verse I remix a mix of 1 Peter 5:7 simply says, simplified, it's illegal to worry. And I remember when my soul was made, I chose relationship with the gods, kings, and goddesses, queens, as they show me what reality is supposed to be in the land of dreams. Like unicorns, rainbow falls, fae, fashion art, etc. And I'm aware some decline to accept their offer to remain one of their princesses and princes, and they choose to be peasants. I obviously stays one of their little princesses, regardless of what the situation looks like. They tell me to always stay a victim, by choice to receive royalty for an eternity if I keep my loyalty forever. They also let me know a variety of laws, like it's illegal to be friends. It's not allowed unless you're a true friend of that JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace. He is the only son of that king god. He really is half a god king and half a human of that Virgin Mary. Some call his biological birth mommy and more. Again, his biological birth daddy is King God, and JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, is just a high prince. Aside from that, King God tried to show help in perversion, stop multiplying, deal with the existing, and whatever else not mentioned. And his son, as some call him, many names, that JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, he is from a location some call Bethlehem. Either ways, in the land of dreams. And the reason he is called the Prince of Peace, even though there's other princes of peace, and there's kings of peace and queens of peace, they're gods and goddesses. But JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, he got adopted by the gods and goddesses, kings and queens, much higher than King God, his biological birth daddy. And they are more of peace, like King Allah and others. I don't know all their names, but they exist. And, some people call King God Cage and Crownless and different things because he plays a game of Crown Testers. Anyways, that's another story I'll talk on more later, which I've done before. And in the 80s, like when I was a baby, a little girl, I seen and heard diff stories of his life. Some cartoony, that animated, films, diff books of knowledge, fae, fashion art, etc. And some say after he was born that 3 wise men rode up on camels. Others say horses, like maybe unicorns and a lion and a lamb. Some, like myself, might imagine. Either ways, supposedly, they brought JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, some diamonds in every color, crowns, gold, jewelry, those kind of riches. Just like any prince and princess got unlimited account, even if they don't got access, like what happened to his things. Stolen, hidden, traded. Some version of the story say that the 3 wise men were expecting him to make it multiply, as they are aware of his identity and his abilities that don't always work, because he is part human and he gets weakened, and he's not always that magical. Instead, he appeared to be more like a disabled baby, not doing much more when he is, again, part a god, king, so they expected the high prince to multiply what they brought and give them 1% of their resources as they gave him 1% of his. Obviously, that's not all he's entitled to, and they expected more out of that. All the way to the point his identity got questioned till he got murdered, and three, what looked like the wise men again, or three different individuals very much like them, they kind of made fun of him this time. Like, if that's really him, why isn't he doing anything magic or making things like diamonds and gold multiply? Like, who is he? And even if it is him, they don't really care because he's not doing what his identity is known to do, like what he's supposed to do, as others will question those three retarded men. Why aren't they doing their abilities, what they can do? So, they're obviously some kind of peasants, or they're possessed. And, I know different versions of the story of biblical educational since I was a baby, and I don't always remember. But JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, he does sometimes make things multiply. Imagine fabrics and more, like fashion art, etc. Faye. Aside from that, I'm a biblical representative individual, like fashion art, etc. Faye. I'm biblically educated to know that all the religions are 100% true, and I need advanced education medically to be a biblical doctor genius, eventually, like natural remedies, necessary surgeries, procedures, real medicine, dreams, inventions, resources. Real medicine, inventions, authorities, lie detector test, metal skeletons, clones, and more. Whatever else not mentioned. And that character from the Holy Bible, other books of knowledge, plays, films, and more, that JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, he got murdered. He doesn't heal minds. So the peasants got a hold of his to weaken him on his human side, like they are in cults, like memory deletion and hypnotic twist-way psychology. That's how they got him on that cross, duh. They sacrificed him as he probably shed blood tears. And maybe he cried colorful paint-like cries for Faye, fashion art, etc. He didn't die for anyone's sins. That's lies of the peasants that create these situations for fun, power, control. It's illegal. And there's diff versions of the story, and I know for a fact this one is worded that accurately because that JCT Pop, Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, he talks to me that personally. Duh. He literally appeared that visibly and told me. And he also told me that after that nail nightmare, that King God forced him to multiply in spirit and spend 24/7 with everyone created since then, to know them for the Lord's army. That poetically, some say he walks with everyone, but I seen him. He also does his own thing. Sometimes he might be over there drawing or whatever it is he's doing while he is forced to spend his existence with that many. Even if he's also multiplied in one realm over. So it's like he's in the land of dreams and he's over there and he's here. And some that were existing before that happened to him, before he got forced to multiply with those that were created after his murder, they're a different kind of human. Which some people don't understand. They have a different path. And they have a different everything. It's not identical. Some people need to accept that. Anyways, aside from that, he can't do more at this time. He isn't allowed. So, we joke how King God calls time God's perfect timing, as King God is the only God king that plays crown testers. The other gods, kings, and goddesses, queens that help make me, they say and show and tell me different things in diff ways, as they never play crown testers. They warn me of King God's game of test, and they remind me, don't look at any sin as an option. It's not, as King God allows evil to happen as a choice. The other gods, kings, and goddesses, queens, they say every individual is accountable for their own intentional sin only. There is no price to pay. And Persian prayer I made up sparkles prayers victims dreaming, rescues them from victimizers' nightmares 24/7, like dreams come true if they're supposed to. Duh. Blah, blah, blah. Like hi, bye.